This meeting is being recorded.
Shall I put my cool hat on? This was my safari hat. Good morning, everyone. Davin Sessa. I am altering my normal showcase, which would talk to you about some financial principles and telling you about the most recent adventure I went on, which most of you know was hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. So many people have asked me about it, so I figure, hey, let's just take the showcase and tell you about it. Can we see my screen? Little thumbs up from anyone? Going with yes. Okay, so just a little couple of facts about Mount Kilimanjaro. If you don't know, it's known as one of the 7 summits. It's the tallest mountain in Africa, and it is the highest freestanding mountain in the entire world. To give you a little context on where the elevation is, so this is me in this picture. I'm sitting at the peak right now. Elevation, just again for context, sea level is 0 feet. Yorktown Heights sits around 500, and Bear Mountain just around 1,300. Where I'm sitting is 19,341 feet, as you can see in the sign. Along with that altitude comes the challenge of dealing with decreased air pressure and decreased oxygen. Because of that, I had to do a health check every single day where they measured those things. They measured our heart rate, they measured our oxygen level. My normal resting heart rate is around 60, and up there it was always hovering in the mid 80s. I thought it was kind of cool. I did a meditation the day before summit day, which is what I would do if I'm kind of like going into battle. And they checked my heart rate and it was back down to kind of almost normal. So meditations, I do think help. People have asked, what's the success rate of making to the top? It depends on the route that you go. There's around 30,000 people that attempt the summit each day, each year. About half kind of make it. The longer the route you take, the higher your success rate. We took what's called the Lemosho route, which is a longer route, 8 days total, 6 days up, 2 days down. We cover a little over 40 miles, I think. So it doesn't sound like a tremendous amount of mileage, but when you combine it with the altitude and hiking every single day, it's tough. I can tell you that. The reason I went wasn't because that Mount Kilimanjaro was on my bucket list. It wasn't that I love hiking that much even. It was purely to get out of my comfort zone. And I believe that anyone who is involved in entrepreneurship, I believe that anyone who wants to just grow personally, a lot of that growth happens when you are outside of your comfort zone. And that was the big driver for me on this. All right, couple pics I think you'd like to see. This is just a couple of pictures regarding the culture. So over in Tanzania, Africa, as compared to America, America is a, developed country, and the reality is poverty exists everywhere, including America. We have in America a poverty rate around 14% these days, I believe. In Tanzania, Africa, the poverty rate is close to 50%. So you can see in some of these pictures, we're driving on a road at this point in time to the mountains. Someone's on annoying mode. We're driving to the mountain. You can see on the left-hand side, there's some dirt roads. You can see this wheelbarrow is just kind of some sticks put together. In the middle is a market with mostly dirt in the background of their stores. And on the right, you see this guy who's carrying something on his head. These guys carry stuff everywhere. They use their head to transport stuff. They're not using vehicles for the most part. So I was very surprised to see that in person. Clearly I was hiking, so we were living the tent life. You can see on the left, these are our tents, normally 2 to a tent, something I am not accustomed to whatsoever. That is completely out of my comfort zone. I'm used to a bed, I'm used to a shower. We had none of that. On the right-hand side is my team and I. We had a dining tent that we used each day. Again, pretty cool experience. This might shock you. On the left-hand side is kind of a typical bathroom over there. We didn't even have that. We had what you see on the right-hand side, which was a tent, probably about 4x4, in its measurements. And then you can see the little toilet thing there. That's what we use. It's not plumbing. Someone actually has to like empty that each day. And then in the middle, you see our sink, which was really just a bucket with a little valve there. So be grateful for running water because we didn't really have that. These are the guides that we had. So we had 4 guides with us that led us through this trip. They were awesome. I'm so grateful for them. On the left-hand side, you see the team of supporters that we had. So we had our guides and what's known as porters to help us transport all of our equipment every single day. We carried a backpack. It was stuff and it was heavy, but they carried everything else. They carried our tents. They carried the tables, chairs. They carried our luggage for the most part. And you can see in the middle, climbing up a mountain, they're carrying it on their heads, just like I showed you in the first picture, right? So these guys are incredible. They're very hard workers, extremely kind. And if you were struggling, they would grab your backpack and carry it with them as well. So I couldn't believe that. This I thought was a pretty cool experience. The guy on the right was a gentleman on our team. He turned 60, and you see a little birthday cake that we had a chef there who was cooking for us each day. He made a cake for this guy, totally surprised them. And if you can see on the left picture, there's a gentleman, he's our guide, our head guide, with a big backpack. And in the top component was where he put that cake. For 3 days, he hiked with that cake. Then all the porters surprised the guy on the right, Jeff, with a birthday song, and they sang in Swahili. It was really, I couldn't believe that. It was a complete shocker to everyone, but it was really, really kind and just tells about their culture, the kindness and the care. These are a couple pictures just of our team hiking towards the mountain. On the left-hand side, that's me in the back. You can tell by the funny looking hat. This was one of my favorite pictures. Day 3 hiking. I finally got a glimpse of the mountain. So you can see it up in the background on each side, right and left. First view of Mount Kilimanjaro. It was a sight to see for sure in person. Again, left-hand side, I thought that was a cool picture. The sun was setting, so it kind of made the mountain glow. Really cool. And on the right, just having some fun. I like this little hike, this quote, hiking is not just a walk, but it's a journey towards yourself. So you get a lot of thinking and reflecting that happens, also battling, tiredness and whatnot. So you kind of see what you're made of as you're going through. This was, again, just a fun picture. You guys have gone hiking. You've seen rock stacks built up. I pretended to knock them down. No, I didn't, but I thought it was kind of a funny little martial arts picture. Most of the people I went on this trip with were martial artists. Actually, I think everyone on our team was. Another couple cool pictures. So you can see the backdrop, just incredible on the left-hand side. I decided to climb a little boulder. And on the right-hand side, I thought it was awesome. I'm sitting above the clouds. Like, I don't know how many of you have sat above the clouds. Maybe you've flown there. But on the way there, I was told that we were going to climb higher than some planes actually fly. And so on the right-hand side, that's showing it. This was an incredible experience, this part. So the leader of my group was actually one of my first martial arts instructors ever. This was the second time visiting. And when he went the first time, he did some Taekwondo or martial arts training with the supporters who were helping us each day. And so he encouraged me and another gentleman to do the same this time. So each morning we led a little martial arts training class for the porters and the guides each morning. And so you can see on the left-hand side, we're giving them a little stretch. And on the right-hand side, that's me teaching them a kick. So that was really incredible. The reason we did that was, you can see again, left-hand side, me kind of helping to teach right upper. You see this kid doing a pretty good kick, having a lot of fun. They don't get this. And so where my instructor kind of encouraged us was, hey, listen, they do so much for us. We want to give back to them. And it was just an incredible experience. This is us at the top. On the left-hand side, we're promoting Taekwondo. We're exhausted at this point in time. On the right-hand side is Grandmaster Burlow, who was the main reason I likely said yes to go on this trip and the encourager here. On the left is my entire team sitting at the top. You see some smiles, but we're actually all exhausted and a little bit miserable at this point in time. We had started hiking at midnight. We put in 7+ hours at this point in time. It is very cold up there right now, and you wouldn't be able to tell from the picture, but one of us in this picture was almost puking about a minute before this was taken. So it was very, very hard and very challenging getting up there. The day before I went, I thought it was pretty cool. Again, I opened up my phone, didn't use my phone too much other than taking pictures, but I found this verse pop up somehow. I didn't even have internet, but this popped up and it said, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed." I couldn't think of a more fitting thing to have in my mind as I was going through kind of misery hiking up there the last day. This is my team. We all got some medals at the end, which was pretty cool. This was one of my favorite pictures as well. I love this little quote. "It's not the mountain that we conquer, but ourselves." That's something to keep in mind. You can kind of chew on that. This might be my favorite picture, the most incredible backdrop I'll ever get, I'm sure. And a couple quick experiences that I feel like I gained, which apply to not only hiking, but life and as well as business and entrepreneurship, right? So I think that your training matters, preparation matters as you're going into, any discussion or event. You want to have proper gear and tools. Your mindset matters, which I think Mike kind of touched upon today, and we touch upon within our discussions also. Celebrate your small wins. For me, it was making it to the next camp every single day. I was exhausted. I remember when I hit 15,000 feet, I was like, I couldn't function properly at that point in time. And again, we were still going to 19,000 plus. So celebrate your small wins. It's important. I said, know your destination, but concentrate on your journey. So you have an idea, you have a vision, but now concentrate step by step. In Tanzania, Africa, they speak Swahili. And so they say pole pole when you're doing your trek, and that's just going one step at a time, very slowly at a time. If you didn't realize you knew Swahili, or you've seen The Lion King, you might recognize Hakuna Matata. That's actually Swahili, and they have a whole song around that. I wish I had time to show you it. Also, I believe choosing the right team is very important for your endeavors. So our Master Networks group is a team. Master Networks as a whole is a team. Here, I feel like I had great teammates, great guides, great supporters. I couldn't have had a successful trip without them. These were two final pictures that I thought were pretty cool. Again, above the clouds, and I love this saying, the climb speaks to your character, but the view speaks to your soul. And I think you could apply this to life and business going forward as well. Take a step back, take a view of your life, take a view of your business, and let that kind of speak to your soul while you take steps each and every day. Again, I did this to get out of my comfort zone. I encourage you to embed this picture into your mind. I had this on my phone for probably 2 years. Outside of the comfort zone is where the magic happens. So where's your magic going to happen? Where are you stepping out of your comfort zone? Challenge yourself and grow. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed.